you what's going on. So I live in Texas now, but for the first 14 years of my life I lived in New Jersey, and one of the things I miss most about the East is snow. Snow is something that doesn't really happen in Texas, and when it does, people will freak out like it's some magical blessing from the sky, even though it's only like a quarter of an inch, none of it sticks. Snow in Texas, Snow in New Jersey, because you get like a foot or like 2 feet of snow in the winter, you get off from school and you get to hang out with your friends all day. So this is the tale of how when me and my best friend Josh were 9 years old, we got yelled at and screamed at by a 40-year-old man. So the story takes place when I'm about 9 years old. My best friend Josh lives right across the street from me, and anytime we had a snow day, the two of us would hang out. We get the bright idea that we're gonna make snowballs and throw them at the passing cars that go along our street. We're just gonna throw them at the people that pass by, most of which are the neighbors that live with us in the development. It was gonna be a fun time, and we weren't gonna get lectured by a 40-year-old man for 20 minutes. So most of the people play along with it. When we throw, they act all scared like, people are, laughing about it. Most people have a very good spirit about it. This guy that we happened to hit did not have a very good spirit about it. So we see this car coming down the road, and this wasn't an ordinary car. This was the Triangle Art car. Little backstory on Triangle Art. Triangle Art was a little art supply store near our house. They had this competition at our school every year where you would draw something and submit it. They gave you a prompt, and then they would award all these people. Well, Josh and I weren't the biggest fans of Triangle Art because every year all the girls in our class would just win because they were much better at art than us. People would make a big deal out of it. You get these like big, like diploma-looking things. I was not the biggest fan of Triangle Art. Josh was not the biggest fan of Triangle Art. So we see this car coming and we're like, yes, we're gonna get the Triangle Art car so badly. So I get my snowball ready, Josh gets his snowball ready, and I hurl mine and Josh takes his and he hurls his so hard. Mine hits the back window and just kind of poofs. Josh's hits right under the passenger side door and makes the loudest thud I have ever heard in my life. This snowball just goes in and we just completely like stopped dead, like deer in the headlights, jaw dropped, complete loss of words, like, oh my god, what have we done? It echoed through the streets, people like stopped on the sidewalk because they thought they heard a gunshot. No, that didn't actually happen, we're the only ones in the street, but still, it would have been a legitimate concern that someone had fired a cannon in the middle of the street, or that Blackbeard was driving his ship down the middle of the street and fired cannonballs at enemies across the ocean. Like, it was so loud. This guy slams on the brake, his car comes into a screeching ollie, like flings the door open, runs over, like checks the damage for a good minute. There was no damage, the car was not dented at all, but he proceeded to stare at it for at least a minute, and then turn around and give us the stare of death. How dare you damage the Triangle Artmobile? And decides, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna yell at these kids for 20 minutes about how they shouldn't throw snowballs at a car. So he comes up to us. What are you doing? I can't believe that you would throw snowballs at moving traffic in the middle of a street, and do you have any idea like what possible damage you could do to a car? Like, this is my company car. If it got hurt, I would have had to pay the damages, and what am I gonna tell my boss? And this is ridiculous, and you guys shouldn't be doing this, and you should be more well behaved, and where are your parents? And the guy's just going on and on and on and on and on. I'm just standing there like chilling, like, alright, I'm gonna let this guy blow off steam, it's gonna be fine, I'll apologize afterwards, everything will be cool. Well, Josh handles situations like this a little differently. A little backstory, Josh thinks everything in the world is funny. When Josh was 9 years old, he would laugh at anything. You could go up to Josh and go, hey Josh. And if you stared at him for 2 seconds without saying anything, he would burst out in laughter. So of course, while we're getting lectured at vehemently by this guy, Josh is using every muscle in his body to try to contain his laughter. I see his smile creep up and I'm just thinking, Josh, no, not right now. This guy is going to punch you in the face if you laugh. Fortunately, Josh was able to, cover his mouth slightly, like he was thinking like, oh no, I'm so sorry, but he was really like, oh my god, I'm about to burst out laughing. This is hilarious. Finally, the guy finishes his tirade and walks back into his car and drives away. And of course, the second he is out, Josh and I like fall to the ground in hysterical laughter. And I just turn to him and say, Josh, what kind of snowball did you throw at that guy's car? And he shows me his pile of snowballs. These things, Josh, were legitimate spheres of ice. Usually you take a snowball, you like smack your hand on it, it'll like poof away. You took this snowball, you smacked it, it was like cling! Like, it didn't even budge. Thank God it didn't dent. I don't know how it didn't dent. Josh could have like destroyed this guy's window if he had hit it. But we had a good laugh about that and didn't throw a single snowball at a moving car for the rest of our lives. And that is the tale of how Josh and I almost got beaten to death by a 40-year-old man driving the Triangle Art car. If you like this video, click like. If it was one of your favorites, click favorite. That's what the buttons are there for. If you want to see my last video, it's right here. I did a read and review of Cosmopolitan magazine. Let's just say it's a very interesting magazine. Definitely one of my favorite videos that I've ever put out. Link is there and in the description. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sometime in the near future.